Violent Night.
Alright guys, welcome back to another 2022 review. This one is of a film that I have been heavily anticipating, especially since I saw the first trailer, and that is Violent Night, starring David Harbour from Stranger Things. This film's about a Santa Claus who's kind of down on his luck. He's not the happiest. He's losing his own Christmas spirit. And as he's delivering presents on Christmas Eve, he comes to a house that is under siege by a group of terrorists or heisters, robbers, and he must save the day. So, what was this film? Everything that most people anticipated it to be: a solid action movie in the vein of Die Hard and John Wick, or was it just a cheese fest? Let's get into it. So, what I liked about this movie was David Harbour as Santa Claus. He was absolutely fantastic. He stole a show, and I think he might be the best Santa Claus ever put to screen. I am saying that now. He had a lot more than just being Santa Claus to it. He had an arc that he had to go through. He forgot why he became Santa Claus. He forgot why he was doing all this. And to see him like that, and then him go through it and be reminded of why he does what he does, it was awesome. Then the action in it was fantastic. For the most part, it was very good. Not John Wick quality action, but maybe just a step down. There were some moments that was like, kind of what's going on, but for the most part, it was really good. I enjoyed every moment of it. I think this is gonna be a Christmas classic. This is a Christmas classic for me. Aside from David Harbour, the hostages were very mediocre. I mean, they were like cartoon characters at some points. The dad and the mom of the little girl, they were probably the best adult hostages. They were okay. There could have been more characterization for them and development for them, but it really relied heavily on the little girl. The little girl stole the show, and she was talking with Santa Claus all throughout the movie, and she brought a nice heartbeat to the film. And I was expecting a bloodbath, and I would have been okay with just a bloodbath. But this film, because of her family, and all that kind of stuff, it made it feel like a warm, heartfelt Christmas film. And I thought it was awesome for that. The movie had blood and guts and people being set on fire. And it also had time for some warm moments, some good moments, wholesome family moments. It was awesome. It had everything. It was, without a doubt, a Christmas movie, not because it looked like it was a Christmas movie, but because it had the themes of a Christmas film. The villains were good. I forget what the guy's naming, John something, who played the main villain. I like him in a lot. He literally, as soon as I saw him on screen, I'm like, ooh, look at him. I didn't know he was in it. And he did a good job. He did a very fine job. There wasn't anything too deep. He was no Hans Gruber, but he was a good villain. I liked him. He served his purpose. But yeah, this film was everything you wanted it to be. It was bloody, it was gruesome, had some good Home Alone stuff within it. Like, if Home Alone was more real, like if that film was real and the damage done to the two criminals in that film were real, it would be like in this movie. The Home Alone scene may be my favorite part of this film. Maybe. There was a lot of great moments. But yeah, it just was a great classic Christmas film. Without a doubt. I'll be watching it every year. Alright, now let's give this film a rating. I give this film a 90%. It's a 90%. Without a doubt. At first I was going to give it like an 88%, just under 90. But the more I thought about it, it's gonna be so rewatchable. It was a heartfelt Christmas movie. It was an emotional, warm, brutal, and bloody Christmas film with a decent amount of lore to the Santa Claus. And I thought it sets up for a possible franchise, but it could also be a standalone film all at once. Yeah, I think this film is definitely a 90%. I thought it was great. Let's get into the spoilers. So, first things first, it's pretty simple. Like, there's not many spoilers. You know exactly what you're gonna get when you get to watching this film. But there is a kill squad in the movie. I would like to point this out. because this was a direct reference to Die Hard 2. I wonder if anyone else picked it up. But the Kill Squad, as soon as I saw them, what rang in my head was Die Hard 2. The military squad that was supposed to be the anti-terrorist squad ends up working with the terrorists in Die Hard 2. And they were wearing very similar outfits in this film as they were in Die Hard 2. And I'm like, are these guys working with the robbers? I think they are. And it's as soon as within 5 minutes of meeting them, that's exactly what occurred. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Nice little Die Hard 2 reference there. So that was cool. And there was a lot of references to Die Hard 2 and Home Alone. One of my favorite scenes, in which the entire theater just went nuts over, was the one guy climbing into the attic, and there was a nail on the one ladder step, and it was turned into a Home Alone scene. And he's like, "If you gotta hide these better," and he stepped on a broken step, and it went through. I thought his foot was gonna land on the nail. Oh no, his entire chin did, and I'm like, that was awesome. That was absolutely brutal, but I loved it. It was great. Well, yeah, the little girl was great. Like I said, there's not a lot of spoilers. Oh, the ending. So I like the way that Santa Claus uses magic and whatnot. He would have to tap his nose like he's doing some cocaine or whatever, and he would fly up through the chimneys. And I guess if you're holding on to somebody as you do this and you go up to the chimney, you don't turn into dust and magic like Santa Claus. You just get torn up through the chimney, and it's insane. I was expecting it like it was another time in which you're expecting something to happen in the film, and something better happens. So he's fighting the main villain at the end, and he's standing next to a chimney, and you know he's going to get out of it by tapping his nose, and he's going to go to the top and maybe jump off and stab him and kill him. Who knows what? But I thought that's how he was going to get out of it. But instead, he taps his nose, holds on to the main villain, and he drags him through the chimney, and his torso's all torn up, and he just throws his torso out when he gets to the top. It was just brutal. Blood spurts out at the top. It was a gory, good time. That's it for the spoilers. There's nothing really else to talk about. Yeah, it was a good film. I recommend you guys go see it. Go give this movie some money, because I want a franchise. Because there was just here's another little spoiler tidbit. Santa Claus was not always Santa Claus. He was a bloodthirsty warrior in a past life that murdered people. Yes, it didn't really go too deep into how he became Santa Claus, but I think that was intentional. That's a whole movie right there. I'm down for a prequel to see that epic journey of him becoming Santa Claus. You get to see him go from evil to this jolly fat guy who gives kids presents on Christmas. So, oh yeah, I would love to see that. I would also like to see other sequels. I don't know. There's a lot they could do, because there is magic, so you could fight off against Krampus. Who I think the possibilities are endless, and I would love to see David Harbour as Santa at least a couple more times. This is a great idea for a franchise. Holiday classic. Here we go. All right, guys. That is my review for Violent Night 2022. So long. I'll see you guys next time.